Hello and welcome back. I'm Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and it is vlog day today. So happy to see every single one of you. So I didn't do my vlog last week. It was Easter. I felt like I just needed to go hang out with the family that day because I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually do record this the day of, like Sunday. I'm recording right now. Today, you're gonna see what I look like today. That's how I do this. So it is nice to have Sundays off every once in a while to spend mainly with the family. So, all right, I do have a coffee this morning. Well, I'm not drinking out of it, but I have my tutorial from Friday. You guys really liked this. You know, I was really nervous to put this out there. Did you guys know that? No, now you do. I was pretty nervous to put this out there. I don't know why. I think because I had this vision in my head. I wanted to do, I seen a picture, okay? I'll have to put it up here, but I was on just searching around for beach scenes and stuff, and I happened to come across this picture, a wall hanging, I think it was at Target, and I loved how it was split to each side, and I was like, I wonder if I could do that on a tumbler. So I remembered, because I knew I wanted my waves to be exact. I wanted my waves to look a certain way, and I remembered that I used the Alien Snow to do my other waves for my tutorial last year that I did, the pastel beach one. And I'm so happy with how this turned out. I can't believe how nice it turned out. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It was very easy. And I know you're like, yeah, easy for you, Sandy. But I'm serious. It was extremely easy. I would make up a bunch more of these. And I'm thinking about doing different angles. So maybe like a stripe in the middle we could do, you know, where the water's in the middle. Like you could do it all kinds of different ways and then just kind of build your own waves to make it have like that perfect break look to it. But I am so in love with this, and I'm so happy you guys really enjoyed it as well. But I want you guys to see how when I paint, I don't know if you could see on when I did the tutorial, but see how as I pulled back, it just makes those stripes and all that. That's exactly how you want it, because it looks just like waves once it's done and once you put epoxy over it and everything. So, I mean, it is relatively simple to do, so. All right, anyways, I have a couple tumblers. I have my sunflower and rose tumbler we're gonna be doing today. And I also have that galaxy tumbler that we had started on, where we put the paper down and then made the galaxy look over it. But we have those two tumblers. It's decal day. It needs to get done, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that going. I got my tumbler and I'm ready to wake up, prep these tumblers, and slay all day. Let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna go over some of these vinyls that I purchased. Now this is from Courtney's Customs. I just wanted to show you guys, but you get all this, and I think it was like $19. It even comes with the clear transfer tape as well. So absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna be using some of that on one of my tumblers here. So this stuff here, I actually am doing the Muse, or I purchased the Muse box. I'm doing a monthly subscription that's through Mr. Nola's Glitter, and you get all kinds of really fun vinyls and stuff like that. I really love this so far. I'm pretty excited for it. And I didn't know if I wanted to use any of it for anything I got going on here, but I decided I was gonna show you guys what I got this month. Now I purchased from all over the place. So right here, like I said, this is Mr. Nola's Glitter, and I purchased some vinyls from Courtney's Customs, and I also have some decals that I purchased through Gracefully Created as well. So I'm going to show you guys that as well, because I didn't know if I wanted to use some of the decals that I got this month out of my box, which are right there off to the side, or if I wanted to use any of these little decals here that I bought from Gracefully Created. So I'm going to put some off to the side that I like, and we'll see what I do with those ones. But I have so many decals, guys. It's crazy. Like, I need to start using all my stuff here. I have so much stuff just sitting around, and I need to start using all my things I got. All right, so after I picked out a few things I think I'm going to use, we're going to go ahead and start up on my sunflower and rose tumbler. Now, I went ahead and I already put some spray paint on my tumbler because the decals that I think I'm going to use, they are perfectly clear, so they need like a white backing to be able to be seen. So I just did black and I did a red and I also did white over top as well. And I'm just going to give it a distressed look all around the edges. But I thought it would go really well with kind of like the feel and look of what we have going on here. So that's why I decided to do this. So after I got it all cleaned up, now's the hard part. I whittled it down to these 3 decals I have right here. And it was just a matter of me kind of laying it down, trying to figure it out. This is probably the hardest part, but I did use a black, a red, and a white. So that's why I was like more leaning towards the rose one there. But that one is really cute too. I like that. And it's wine o'clock. I figured that's maybe not good for this size tumbler because, you know, we're using a regular curve. That's more for like a wine glass, I thought. So now it's coming down to these 2 right here. And boy, I sat here and I stared for a really long time, but ultimately I decided to go with the It Is Well With My Soul. Now, as you guys know, anytime you use water slide or these clear decals and stuff, it needs a smooth epoxy surface so that way you don't see the lines around your decals. So I found this nifty trick where you just use your UV resin right over top of the area that you need to be nice and smooth. Go ahead and cure that really well. I did 2 coats of it just to make sure that it was nice and smooth. Cured it up really well, and now we can go ahead and move straight into applying our decal over top. Now, of course, with UV resin, I didn't bring it up to the rim or anything like that. You want to keep it right inside of where you need it, and you also want to make sure that it's going to get coated with your epoxy as usual, because UV resin isn't meant to be used as like a top coat or anything like that. So it's going to be in between our epoxy layers and it'll be just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that up, and then we'll apply the decal. Now, when you're working with these decals, I like to go ahead and trim as close as humanly possible to the image itself. I'm going to make sure that I cut really, really close. That's really going to help out as well with being able to see any little lines or anything like that too. Now, we are also working on a curved tumbler. So I kept in mind with that, I kept that in mind. And as I started pressing this down, there are some places that I'm going to have to kind of cut, and I kept it inside of where it was clear so that way you can't even see where I made the slices. You don't want to slice the image. You want to make sure you just slice the clear areas in between if you can. Now, let's say I did the sunflower one up at the top there. I probably would have actually cut that in half and applied it separately onto itself just to help out with the curve and everything like that. So basically with these, you just want to burnish it down really well. Pop any little air bubbles. I just use my little weeding pen to pop any bubbles, push it all out really well, and you have a nice pretty decal on your tumbler. So I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side, and I'm going to get a coat of epoxy on that, and we're going to go ahead and move on to my Galaxy tumbler. So I had some stuff in mind that I wanted to do, and I just came to the conclusion that I think it would just be best just with a decal. I think the other things I wanted to do to it, I wanted to add some more clouds and stuff like that on it. I think it would have just been too much, I think I just wanted to kind of keep it a little bit more simple. So we're just going to move straight into the decal, which, as you guys know, coming up with fonts and your quotes and stuff like that is pretty difficult. So I'm not going to actually talk to you guys too much about what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you, kind of how I put my stuff together. But I know I'm working on a 30-ounce skinny, so it's big and tall, and I want certain things to be cursive and certain things just to be like a normal font like you see there. So I'm just going to choose 2 words that I want to be kind of cursived and go through all my fancy fonts and try to figure out which that looked nice. I thought it looked nice, but I don't know. I thought maybe it was a little too hard to read. So then I decided I would go back through and try to find something else. So it's just a matter of kind of stacking everything together, figuring out what looks best. If you want to do a swirly font in between so it's not all just one font, I think it just kind of makes it a little bit more appealing to look at. There's some variation in the fonts, and that's how I thought of it, I guess. So this is pretty much how I go through and do my decals. You just line it up, figure out what would look best with one another, and then we're going to get that cut out on some of that pretty opal vinyl. But I really like this quote. I thought it was a very pretty quote, and I thought it went well with what we were doing. You know, like there's stardust running through your veins and galaxies swirling in your soul. I thought that was very pretty. I really liked it, so that's why I chose this quote. Again, I just kind of search around and see, you know, if there's any little poems or anything like that out there. This is my Tumbler, so yeah, you know, that's what I wanted on it. All right, so everything's all cut out, and now is the moment of truth of trying to weed all this little stuff. But this vinyl weeded so well. The only thing was the little font that I used for everything in between. It was a little difficult because I had a lot of little small parts. But other than that, it weeded really well. And then I decided after I started weeding it that I just wanted to weed it onto after I applied it to the tumbler, which is really easy, a lot easier than trying to weed it here. Once you stick it down to the tumbler, you can just come right through and peel everything back that needs to be weeded off of it instead of doing it off the mat. Reverse weeding. There we go. I figured it out. I couldn't think of the word that it was called. So I'm just going to reverse weed my my lettering here. Right? That's what it's called. Anyways, sure. Yeah. So after I get this all done, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of epoxy over this as well. And then I'll kind of show you guys how these look so far at the end here. But I am pretty happy with just stopping where I was. I think that was good enough. And I think this one is definitely good to go. All right, so my epoxy isn't fully dry. Even though I use the speed dry, it's still not ready to kind of touch and all that. But that's how my sun. Now the only thing I wish I would have came down just a little bit more up there, but you know what? It is what it is. And I think it's beautiful either way. So, and I really like that trick with the UV resin. You can't even see the line around it at all. So much more easier than epoxy and then putting on the decal. That was much faster. So that's how she is turning out. She needs one more coat. I'm gonna give it a little sanding, give it another coat, and that is good to go. Let me go grab the other one. All right, I got my other one. This is how it's looking. I got a lot of glare in here from my lights and stuff, but when you're in regular lighting, you can see it a little bit better, but I love how this turned out. I really do. I really like how that looks. I love how you can even kind of see some of the stuff behind the decal because the vinyl is slightly, just a little bit transparent. So you can actually see like the paper under it as well. So that's really cool. I love that so much. And I like how you can still see all that paper underneath that we did. So up there you can still see all the constellations that we did. But that is nice. That again, this one needs one more coat and that one's good to go as well. But I'm really happy with how that turned out. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Just like with anything, right? Let me go put this over there. All right, well, I still have to go pick up the groceries, finish the laundry, put dinner together, get the kids ready for the week. So I still have a lot more to do today. So, and put my video together for you guys. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.